welcome to episode 55 of the OVW Fan Zone Live. This is where fans talk back. My name is Jack Minogues.
I'm Brian Hines. How is everybody doing tonight?
Tiny Brian's back there as well. Tiny Brian, say hello, please.
Hello, please.
Tiny Brian, that is his voice, but he is in the chat room this evening, is at OVW Podcast. He's there to not only interact with you, but to collect all of your questions and comments and concerns and complaints and requests and anything wrestling or OVW related that we will go over at the end of the show in our final segment, because this is, of course, where fans talk back.
That's right.
Not much new stuff over on our YouTube channel. There will, of course, as there is every Wednesday evening, be a new episode of our podcast. It'll be episode 101. We did have an episode, an interview with the new CEO of OVW, Rob Edwards, that's recent, that people should go check out. A lot of fun to get to know Rob. And then, of course, our 100th episode extravaganza is up there as well. So catch up with us if you haven't had the chance to. And as always, look forward to our new episode premiering at the end of this show on our YouTube channel at OVW Podcast. Tiny Brian, you have anything for us back there?
No, we've got a pretty good group in the chat. Make sure you're jumping in on the YouTube chat room. And, we'd love to see you.
All right. So, got a tour update, all kinds of places around the Kentucky area, and even one in Cincinnati where you can catch all of your favorite OVW superstars over the next couple of months, and more I'm sure to be added.
It's going to be a busy summer, folks.
Sure is. What all do we got, Brian Hines?
As of this very moment, you can catch OVW every Thursday night at Hot Point Davis Arena. That's 4400 Shepherdsville Road. Doors open at 6:15. Overdrive from 6:15 or 6:30 to 7, and Rise from 7 to 9. We have the OVW Rumble at the Raceway Series, Ponderosa Speedway in Junction City, Kentucky. That's coming up on June 21st and July 19th. Are they going to reschedule the May date?
I think it's still. I still think it's
Still
going to
to
be
be
in the second
determined?
of August. I've just not seen it. I meant to go on. Let me just do a little producing live on the spot.
All
Go
right,
on
we'll
ahead.
move on. We have a OVW Hard Reset, Hot Point Davis Arena, June 14th. There's a free all-ages show at Element Eatery in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's June 28th. Our favorite shows of the year happen at the Manchester Music Hall right here in Lexington, Kentucky. The next one is July 5th. If you're local here in town, I cannot recommend it highly enough.
And if you're not,
make the trip.
yeah, make the trip. We know a place. We know some people you can hang out with. Let us know.
Yeah.
We'd love to see you, show you around. We know Lexington pretty well. Brian Hines has become quite the man on the town himself. He has a few of his favorite hangout spots also. That he can show
I do
you,
have a couple of haunts right now, yeah.
So, hit us up. If you're new to Lexington, you don't know your way around, or it's your first time.
We'll show you where they keep the cool stuff.
Yeah, we'll show you what's good.
Let's see. That following Saturday, we've got OVW at Courtesy Acura, and that is July 12th. That's an outdoor show, correct?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. And rounding out the...
They usually have like food trucks and stuff there too.
And
So.
bounce houses. I'm going to break a bounce house. It's going to be fun.
That sounds awesome. Last but not least, we have OVW Independence Rage, Hot Point Davis Arena. That is July 26th. You can get tickets to any and all of these events at OVWTix. That is TIX.com.
I don't think breaking bounce houses is legal in most states, if it's the thing I'm thinking of.
Wasn't that a Netflix series?
No, that was House of Cards.
Oh, I thought it was Breaking Bounce
They also,
Houses.
there's. I'm just going to go play in one for a little while, and the breaking will sort of just happen automatically. I do have one thing. I'm putting on our podcast. You can find that on our podcast a little bit later tonight, but I forgot to put it on this. To mention thanks to conventionpresales.com.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deduction.
And this weekend they have Dawn Marie, SoCal Val, Ruthie J., and Shelly Benson available on Saturday at the River City Wrestling Convention in St. Augustine, Florida. If you can't make it to that event, visit Convention Presales, as is so lovely displayed on our wall here, and you can order a autograph from any of those lovely professional wrestlers. Once again, that's SoCal Val, Ruthie J., Dawn Marie, and Shelly Benson.
I gotta go out on a limb and say, well, first off, thank you, Convention Presales. Thank you a lot.
Thank you kindly.
Second off, too many river cities. Too many rivers. Too many cities call themselves the River City. I think that we need to address that. Louisville does it. Doesn't Ohio do? No, you guys call it the Queen City.
Yeah, Cincinnati is the Queen City. Ripley is also on the river, but we make no distinction as far as that goes.
But Greenville, South Carolina is also the Queen City, or North Carolina.
They're going to have to fight it out.
That's what I'm saying. Too many Queen Cities, too many river cities. Okay,
Yep.
we gotta get this under control.
I sense a tournament of cities on the horizon.
I don't care how it happens. I just want there to be clarity. Brian Hines,
Please.
I know that you have to, in this moment, you have a request. You have come to the aid of the chat room, or you're asking for the chat room to come to your aid.
I need some help, and I have a mystery on my hands. So as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, there was an event it was a local event called the Drunken Flea at the Burl, where there were tons of booths with vintage clothing and various things. There was somebody who had set up, and you could go play music if you're so inclined. There was food, there were dogs, lots of great music, tons of great clothes. And I was on my way out making my final purchases, and I saw this on a rack, and I had to leave with it. It is a TNA wrestling shirt. And I was talking to the guy. His name's Derek, by the way. Okay, yeah, you hold it up so you can illustrate it, and I'll tell the story. So Derek is a wrestling fan. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the name of his online clothing store. But as I grabbed that shirt, I thought, oh, yeah, this is coming home with me. That's a good deal. He said, oh, yeah, that one's autographed. So I don't know if we can switch cameras or zoom in, but up on the shoulder there is an autograph, and I have no idea who this might be. I've been collecting autographs for 40 years, and when I showed it to Jackman after the show, after the podcast last week, and he said, oh, man, yeah, that in that era, that could be anybody. So I'll post a picture of this in the fan zone, and I'm hoping that one of the fans out there could help me out with identifying this, because right now it's a mystery, and it's going to bug me until I figure out who it is. So there's my rant for the day. But for $10, I got a pretty nice vintage shirt, and it was signed to boot. So,
and I think if there's any fans out there that could just even tell us maybe the years that this T-shirt was produced and sold, if it rings a bell to you, if there's any big TNA Impact people out there, Impact historians out there, TNA historians out there, if you could just tell us what year this shirt was made and produced, maybe if you could tell us if it was an events-only shirt or if you could find it online, that would help us at least get the roster down.
Some, yeah.
But this is also the era of TNA where it literally could have been anybody. There's a ton of former WWE stars in TNA at this time, ton of future greats in TNA at this time. This is a really exciting time for TNA wrestling. So, I mean, it could be sky's the limit. Sky's the limit with who it could be. But we're asking you, Brian Hines, my friend, is asking you to chat. Any advice that you could give us over the course of the show would be much appreciated. So is that all further ado?
That's all I got as far as that goes.
Hayford West is not playing, right? We already established.
No, they're on a break right now.
Okay, yeah, they're having a break. Good for them. They deserve it. A lot of hard. They put in a lot of hard work, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll continue with the show, the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back right after this.
Hey, to all my friends at the OVW podcast, congratulations on 100 episodes. You guys have been killing it from the beginning, so I'm proud to say that not only have I been a part of the show, but I'm friends with you guys, and I really love what you're doing. And would I lie to you? Because, I mean, I am a really good guy, right? Hope y'all have another 100, 200, 300 episodes. Keep it going, but don't ever forget what made you unofficial. Y'all have a good one.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
I'm Keith, and I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow, the birthplace of legends including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
Welcome back, OVW Fan Zone Live. This is where fans talk back. My name is Jackman Oaks.
I'm Brian Hines.
And apparently some people like this segment. It's kind of what
We're going to do the recap first.
Oh, okay. We're not quite to the...
We're not quite to that part, no.
That some people like and some people do not.
Some people are you, yes. Let's review your last week's predictions results, shall we? We start with Freya the Slayer versus Lovely Miss Larkin. I think Brian's favorite match of this last week.
It was my favorite match
if I remember
of the week.
from our podcast recording a little bit ago.
It's good stuff.
Brian, you went with your heart and and predicted Lovely Miss Larkin. I feel that with you, but Jackman got it correct with Freya the Slayer.
Total gut punch.
Coming out the win. Total gut punch. Absolutely.
Amazing moment. Amazing moment.
Yeah.
We'll stick out. Absolutely.
We'll continue that in the triple threat match featuring Jake Painter, J.J. Lawson, and Chris Exodus. And Jackman takes the point here again with his prediction of Jake Painter to win.
It wasn't for lack of trying on J.J. Lawson's part.
It really wasn't. What's his clothes called? Apparently I get deducted if I say it.
He wears the exclamation pant to the ring.
That is, that's fun. Let's see. What else do we have? We have the match of Dustin Jackson with Cal Hero versus Crixus with Tony Gunn. Both of you predicted that Dustin would pull that out, and of course he got kind of put through the ringer instead.
How could we predict returning Katie Gannon though?
No one can. No one can. Then finally we see women's champion Sophia Rose versus Rachel Lay. It's a good week for Jackman last week. Good week for Jackman.
Good for you.
You know. I win some, I lose some.
Yeah,
it happens.
And you had voted for chaos in this match, and I really wish we'd have seen it.
I was really hoping that it would have just been a knockdown, drag out, free for all. But here we are.
And that said, let's get into the biggest segment of the week here on Fan Zone Live. It is time for predictions.
Are you done?
I'm all done now.
Okay. Thank God.
I have been keeping track. He is at negative points.
Thank you, Malachi. I appreciate that.
I live my life in negative points.
You are negative points.
Yes, I have great point debt. Sure.
I'm a negative creep.
It's a good album.
That's great album. But one of the top two. I'm not gonna tell you the other one's in utero.
That's a good one too. Yeah. As someone who lived through that era, I can attest to both of those.
Steve Albini's a genius.
Yep.
A lot of riding around in the back of a bus listening to those Nirvana albums for me. All right, let's get on to our first match here. We're going to have some women's competition with Freya the Slayer taking on one of the new rising, I would say, women in OVW, Rachel Lay.
Brian Hines, you want to take this? I can go.
No, I'll start us off. She looked great this past week on Rise against Sophia Rose.
Rachel Lay, that is?
Yes. She's very skilled, very competent in the ring, great gymnastic background. New gear popped under the lights when she came to the ring.
Her presentation, she always brings it.
Yes.
She looks very, very camera ready.
Yes.
Very ring ready.
Yeah. She's ready to go as soon as she steps through the curtain. I hope that she can use that gymnastic background to her advantage in this case, because it's kind of like a juxtaposition of styles.
Mm-hmm.
Freya is more of a power player.
Yeah.
In the
Absolutely.
women's division, and Rachel Leigh is a newcomer, and she's more of a high flyer, more of an acrobat. I would love to say Rachel Leigh is going to pull out the win, but hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and Freya feels that she has been scorned when it comes to a title match, and she is on a mission.
Can you and do you blame her?
No, absolutely not. I would be upset too.
I think she's standing on business, to be 100% honest with you.
That's why I'm going with Freya this week. I would hate to be Rachel Leigh this coming Thursday.
This really is. I love one of your observations here. This is a styles make matches match. 100%. Freya the Slayer is the preeminent power player in the women's division right now. Rachel Leigh, very impressive in the amount of times that we've seen her. A spark, truly, not the spark, but a spark, truly.
That is correct.
In the women's division.
Yeah.
Incredibly charismatic, incredibly easy to watch. Like I just said, ring ready, camera ready, all there, right? All there for Rachel Leigh. And standout offense in the women's division, even though Sophia Rose gave her a little bit of her own medicine last week. It's just not, there's just no, short of, I don't know, a new invisible knife and
Maybe an invisible chainsaw.
and lovely Miss Larkin, choosing to put her nose in the middle of this match.
Which could very easily happen.
Absolutely. And sometimes wherever Larkin is, Sophia is also there. So there's a lot that could happen. But what I'm saying will happen is Freya the Slayer is going to be Rachel Leigh. I've got to agree with my co-host here.
I think it's pretty wise of the both of you, really. Let's move on to what I assume is another triple threat with implications for the Rush scramble we're going to see pretty soon at the pay-per-view. We will see every third post on my social media feed, Icon Lee taking on his...
I Clown Lee.
I Clown Lee, yes.
That was a good one.
As Z called him last week.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
Nice work,
The
Z.
real Z, not the evil guy.
Taking on his... Doom Squad co-member, Obsidian Angel, and a name I have never heard before, Colby Carter, who sounds like they should sell cheese.
It is a National Cheese Day, by the way.
Colby Carter.
In
Who?
case so you didn't know.
So I'll take this one. We've got Icon Lee, got the Obsidian Angel. They're in a group together. Find out what that group is called. Find out what I like to call that group on our podcast. I'm not going to say it here.
Thank you.
He looked over at me and tried to get me to say it. I was not.
I was not trying to get you to say it. I was curious as to whether you had any comments from the Peanut Gallery.
No, not on this show. I think that Icon Lee and Obsidian Angel obviously are going to come in and they're going to be on the same team. I think Colby Carter will probably get made short work out of. And then I think that we're going to just see Icon Lee give it to Obsidian Angel. This is what the Doom Syndicate does. There is no victory for them, really, that doesn't have Star Rider at the top of it. Obsidian Angel is kind of the he's the newcomer in the Doom Syndicate. Has been shown himself. I mean, he beat Super Z. Even though he gave the title up, he still beat Super Z.
With the help of the rest of the Goon Squad.
Sure. I think that we're going to see a replay, something similar to that, where probably Colby Carter gets made short work out of. Icon lays down for Obsidian Angel. Obsidian Angel gets the victory. I think we're going to see that playbook played back. I don't see the Doom Syndicate having a legit match with each other. I don't see them not playing dirty. I don't see them not 2-on-1-ing Colby Carter. And I just don't see a world where one of the two of them doesn't win. For my money, I'm going to go Obsidian Angel.
See, I was thinking something along those lines. Obviously, they're going to work together to make it a one-on-one match instead of a triple threat. I think we can both agree on that. However, where I disagree is if history is the best indicator of what will happen in the future. Icon Lee, Obsidian Angel end up being the two final competitors after making short work of Colby Carter. What did Obsidian Angel do after he won the title? He gave it to Super Z.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to lay down for Icon.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I think he's just, at least based on what we've seen so far, I feel like he is a hired hand who does what he's told.
Yeah, I think that either way, I think that it's going to be I think one of the two of us have it, and we're just placing our bets, right? You're hedging our bets, essentially.
Yeah.
I
It'd be great if 7 days from right now we're talking about the sensation that is Colby Carter.
Yeah, and then
oh, that'd be great, man.
Then
I'd love it.
Colby Carter says, "Oh, and I bet you know me now," just like JJ Lawson.
I do love rubbing that in your faces a little bit.
Well,
wrestlers in general.
And that was fine, man. Good. I'm glad he did.
Yeah, he deserved to, and he deserved to, even more so after last week's match. He didn't come out on top, but he should be very proud of himself. What else we got?
All right, let's move along to a little one-on-one action. Working towards our big story of the tag team with Cal Hero and a mystery partner. We will see Cal Hero taking on... really? Hang on. Did I write that down? No, I didn't. That's Cal Hero versus Tony Evans.
I was a little surprised to see that one as well. I think that your reaction was warranted there.
I had to go look at the poster.
No, I was a little surprised by that one as well. Kind of seems like it's coming out of nowhere between those two guys, right?
Yeah.
Tony Evans is all wrapped up in between Jay De Niro and Drew Hernandez right now. Cal Hero's got a lot of issues of his own with Doug Basham and the Revolution. There's going to be a lot of extenuating circumstance past the two opponents in the ring here.
Yes, there are.
I guess my question is, how quickly or how long can either Jay De Niro trying to get at Tony Evans or Doug Basham trying to get at Cal Hero wait for this match to resemble anything like a wrestling match?
I'm going to predict a run-in from somebody other than the two competitors within the first minute and a half to 2 minutes.
These two guys come with strings attached, right?
Plenty of them, like puppets.
Complete shot in the dark. I'll go Tony Evans. Complete shot in the dark. I'll go Tony Evans. I don't feel confident in coming up with a grand scenario of what I actually think is going to happen. I'm just going to choose a winner as it's laid out on the match or on the poster here. I'm going to act like these guys don't come with strings attached, and I'm going to give it to Tony Evans.
If it is a match that runs to completion where there is a clear winner, I think I'm going to go with Cal Hero, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think that there's going to be outside interference. I mean, you've got the Revolution that are tied to this match.
Right. Well, and the Revolution did a great job of tenderizing Cal last week.
Well, yeah, that's true. So I'm sure that they're not done, especially with the pay-per-view coming up. They want to inflict as much damage as possible week after week until we get to that Saturday to lessen Cal's chances of coming out on top. And
ultimately preventing Cal from getting 5 minutes alone with Doug.
Yes, that as well. That is on the line, and that's very important. But I don't think we're going to see a clear finish to this. I think somebody's going to run in and interfere in the match, and it's going to be thrown out.
Yeah, I was
going to say, do either one of you actually think we're going to see a full match here?
No, but
I don't.
For sake of conversation, I will choose Tony Evans as the winner. I'm feeling froggy.
And I'll choose Cal for the sake of argument.
Perfect. Love it.
I mean, in a straight-up match between those two, I'll probably have Cal too, honestly. But I just don't think it's going to be a straight match. Let's move on to our next match, the Battle of the Heavy Hitters here, as we see one Drew Hernandez, the new insurance policy of Tony Evans, taking on the doctor of whatever he has his doctor in, Big Zoe.
Springboards. He's got a doctorate in springboards.
Double suplexes.
Yeah. Being cool. being able to dance real cool. He does that too.
Social work, right?
I believe so.
I
Yes.
think so. So these are two big guys, right? Big Zoe's bigger than Drew Hernandez. Big Zoe is also lighter on his feet than Drew Hernandez.
That he is.
That makes Big Zoe very, very, very hard to contend with, right?
He's a dangerous man.
But Big Zoe's living a good life right now. Big Zoe's happy right now. And I'm not saying that means he's lost his competitive edge, but I am saying that, like, it's hard when you're content to go in and get in a fight and get beat up. Even if you win, you're still getting beat up, right? Drew Hernandez is new on the block, though. Drew Hernandez just started getting his paychecks from Tony Evans, and he's got to make sure that he still gets them. These two guys have a lot in common. They also have some very big differences. It makes it a very hard match to choose. I'm going to have to go with Drew Hernandez. Begrudgingly, I'm going to go with Drew Hernandez.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Big Zoe's got the world in the palm of his hand right now.
Yeah, but Drew Hernandez has something on his hand.
Does he need to wash it?
No, it's his glove.
Oh, well, yeah, there's that. Big Zoe does not have a loaded baked potato glove, unfortunately, but I don't think that is something he's super worried about. I mean, we've seen him week after week, always a strong competitor. We saw that best of 7 series with him and the Iron Demon, Shane Mercer, last summer.
Amazing stuff. Yeah, Big Zoe, great guy. Shane Mercer, a wrestler. Those were great matches.
They were, all of them. I'm going with Zoe, man.
I like where your head's at. I really do. I just don't think I can commit to it. I just don't think I could commit to Big Zoe tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna go Drew Hernandez. Would love to be wrong next week. Would love to be wrong next week, but it's just hard. It's hard. It's a hard, tough decision.
Brian, did you take Big Zoe? I'm sorry, I was distracted by the chat room.
I did take Big Zoe.
That's what I thought. Just wanted to make sure.
Of course.
All right, let's got a couple more here left. Let's go to implications for our current media champion, one Dustin Jackson. Wait a second, is this for the media championship?
I believe this is it.
Because Katina just won the number one contendership last week, so I'm going to assume this is a media championship bout. Let's predict it as though it were. Can't imagine they'll have a non-title before they meet if they're going to meet at the pay-per-view.
That would make sense to me. You want to start? I start. You want to start?
You start.
Okay. How long did I sit on this program and in front of this microphone specifically and talk about how much I loved Dustin Jackson? A lot. Hours and hours of worth if it was a compilation, it would be hours long in minute parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talked about Dustin Jackson a lot. Was so glad to see him back. His first run with OVW was when I started going to a lot of OVW shows, and I loved him. He was my favorite wrestler on the roster, and there's a part of me that would still say, yeah, Dustin Jackson, pound for pound, is probably my favorite wrestler on the roster. He's had an amazing title run, an amazing time back since he's been back at OVW. He's beat up. He's put that title on the line, squeaked it out every time. But he's
even unconscious.
But he's beat up. He's beat up right now. And the Revolution know. They know the implications of going and beating up Dustin Jackson, tenderizing him, so to speak, for Anthony Katina next week, especially after Anthony Katina was just named the number one contender to the championship. Not only that, Anthony Katina is bringing 2 friends along.
Right.
Although we've never seen the trifecta interfere for him.
That is true. We haven't.
They've played it clean thus far.
No matter who was in the ring, yeah, that is a good point.
It's only a matter of time.
Well, no, I take that back. Katina got them the tag team titles.
Yeah, Katina's been in their business before. No, they don't come alone. There's going to be 2 guys, 2 formidable wrestlers on the outside. It's going to be 3-on-1. And you got to be thinking that the trifecta as a unit, Anthony Katina as an individual, are smelling blood right now. After seeing the end of last week's show, after seeing Dustin Jackson get beat up, after Katina's on fire right now, after the trifecta are on fire right now. I think you guys know where this is going. I'm choosing Anthony Katina, new media championship, come Thursday evening. The writing is on the wall. Read the tea leaves, folks.
Brian, do you agree with him?
So, let me ask first. For Hard Reset, there is a match listed between these two individuals, correct?
I can't say to a certainty. Give me a second. Let me look at.
Okay.
Let me look at some Hard Reset.
Because
posters.
I feel like a title change right before a pay-per-view like that, right on the heels of Katina winning the #1 contender, I just don't know, man. I don't know about all that. I'm not saying it won't happen. I'm just saying I don't know about that. You're right about the trifecta being 3-on-1. And that is notable. That is something that definitely needs to be taken into consideration. But I feel like Dustin Jackson's going to pull one out.
He's done it
going into the pay-per-view.
He's done it so many times.
He
before.
definitely has.
He's done it so many times before, and his finishing cutter, the Dustin Jackson Terminator, has taken out pretty much everyone and can take out pretty much everyone, and he can hit it in a split
at any
second.
given time.
He can hit it in his sleep, literally, which always makes
and has
which always makes Dustin. It makes him hard to choose against. I just think at this point, title match, Dustin Jackson's put in a lot of work. He's got to be tired. He's beat up. Anthony Katina sees Dustin Jackson as ripe for the picking. The trifecta smell blood in the water. They are sharks, and Dustin Jackson's just gonna end up getting eat, man. That's my opinion. Now, granted, one of the only acts I've been as high on Dustin Jackson on throughout the time of this show is the trifecta. So this puts me in a weird spot as a fan, but I want to say that out loud, that I do love both of these acts tremendously. Do love both of these wrestlers tremendously. But I just think all the momentum in the world is on the trifecta's side right now. And
I don't disagree with that. They do have momentum going in. They've got some new ring gear. They're coming out looking sharp week after week. I just think that it's not going to be Katina's night, at least not this Thursday. Now, if they make it to the pay-per-view, it might be a different story. But I don't see it. But what do I know?
What else we got over there, Time Brian?
All right, we have our final match of the evening, and that is lovely Miss Larkin teaming up with the OVW Women's Champion Sophia Rose to take on Angelica Risk, teaming up with a returning Maddie, the American Baddie.
Who is the bigger odd couple in this match here? Maddie, the American Baddie, and Angelica Risk, or Sophia and lovely Miss Larkin? We know that lovely Miss Larkin and Sophia are friends. We know that Sophia's been in lovely Miss Larkin's corner in her darkest of times. That does not necessarily mean they're not an odd couple.
Oh, they are about as odd as you get.
But Angelica Risk and Maddie, the American Baddie here, these are a team that I never would have ever imagined together, right? And especially with Angelica Risk having the run that she's having right now as a single star, even kind of stranger for me to see her in a tag team situation. You go first.
That is a good point about Angelica Risk. She's been back. She's been out there every week. She was there this past Thursday, but her match was on Overdrive. Maddie, the American Baddie.
I assume she came out victorious on that.
You put me on the spot. I want to say yes, she did.
Okay. But, I wasn't trying to. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, I know. But correct me if I'm wrong, Fan Zone. Let's see. She's on a tear. Maddie, the American Baddie, we've seen a little bit here and there. Promos are right up there with the best of them.
Lynchian, I think. Would you agree? Just like strange, off-putting, but welcoming at the same time.
We need to talk about what Lynchian actually means, but we'll say
that's what it
for
means in
another
pop
thing.
culture.
Okay, yeah, but if you actually watch, the films.
I
and
have seen
stuff.
one of them, thank you.
And that's because I got you to go with me, and then you were like, "Wow, that was
It
really
was
cool."
really good. It was
Yeah,
a very good movie.
glad to see Angelica Risk back. Glad to see Maddie the American Baddie whenever we see her. That is an unusual pairing,
Very.
but not as unusual as lovely Miss Larkin herself and her tag team partner Sophia Rose in this case. It'll be interesting to see what lovely Miss Larkin is like this week after the Thursday night she had this past week. I really felt for her after her match with Freya.
Great point. Great point.
Something like that, being stabbed with your own invisible knife right in the gut, I'm sure has to have a deep psychological impact. And as if there already wasn't one, or a couple, depending on how you look at it, that could make for things to be interesting on that side of the ring.
Not to plug our podcast again, but hey, this is the biggest audience we have, so why not? We get into the Freya, lovely Miss Larkin thing in a way that we can't really get into it here on this show. We don't have the time. This is a little bit different of a vibe of a show. If you really want to hear a larger conversation about what happened between Freya and Miss Larkin last week, the conversation that we had about it on our show this week was one of the best conversations we've had in a long time.
And
because it was one of the best moments OVW has had in a long time.
It really was. And you can check that out on our YouTube channel, OVW TV,
Live.
or OVW Podcast.
Yes,
right?
at OVW Podcast.
What he said. I'm still going with Larkin and Sophia Rose in this case.
I am, to borrow from one of your points, I am concerned about the version of Larkin that we get this week. Is Sophia Rose going to be able to pull her friend out of the dumps again? Is Miss Larkin even going to believe that she's alive after getting stabbed with her own invisible knife?
Well, what if she gives her another invisible knife?
Is it going to be enough this time?
What if she gives her two? If she did, how would you know?
Sort of an invisible arms race we're starting here.
Yeah, it's Invisible Cutlery. That's the name of our next podcast.
We know a few things about Sophia Rose. We know how resilient she is. We know what a fighter she is. We know what a great champion she's been. We also know this about her. No matter who she's sharing the ring with, she seems to take on some of their affectation.
Yes.
If Larkin comes out flat, Sophia could come out flat as well. I'm going to go Angelica Risk and Maddie the American Baddie.
You really think so?
Sophia is such a compassionate person and such an empathetic person. That's why whenever we see her get thrown into tag team, she takes to her tag team partner immediately, whether it's Lovely Miss Larkin, whether it's the New Dude Review. Whenever she's so empathetic that whenever she sees her opponents pulling things out of their offense roster, their offense, their pages of offense, she says, well, actually, I could do that too. And I might even be able to do it a little bit better than you. She's so reactive as a wrestler. She's so reactive in the ring, probably because she's a very active person, probably because she's a very, compassionate person. If Larkin comes out flat, Sophia could come out flat. And in a tag team match with Angelica Risk, who we know can put them away, and Maddie the American Baddie, who we're still trying to figure out. Angelica Risk is a real threat, man.
Oh, no doubt about that.
Angelica Risk is a real threat. And probably a future women's champion.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, this hinges, for me, on Lovely Miss Larkin, what version of Lovely Miss Larkin we get. If Sophia is able to pull Lovely Miss Larkin out of the dumps, if Sophia is able to get her friend back to a place where she feels comfortable competing and can compete at a high level, because these are two people, Maddie the American Baddie and Angelica Risk, who are going to bring it to them at a high level. I think that's what it all hinges upon. And after the not only losing another invisible knife, but literally getting stabbed by it, I don't see Lovely Miss Larkin being in a place, in a mood to fight.
That might be the case, and that's a very good point. But in any partnership, when one person is down, that doesn't necessarily translate to the other person being down. It sometimes translates to the other person rising to the occasion to bring the other person up to where they normally are, or maybe even a little bit beyond. And I feel like that's what would happen with Sophia Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, never say die, never quit, stroke survivor. If Larkin comes out and she's in the dumps, and rightly so, I mean, you lost your second invisible knife, and it was, sticking out of your gut when you were pinned by Freya the Slayer. I can see Sophia Rose rising to the occasion to pull her friend out of the dumps and get her back into this
And we
match.
don't even know that she lost it. She might think the thing's still stuck in her. I mean, she certainly... It looked as if when Freya was pinning her that she was still holding it, attempting to
She was.
get it out,
I mean,
get it out of herself.
With that being said, we don't know the invisible damage that that knife caused.
Exactly.
I mean, she might have lost a lot of invisible blood.
And
there could be some invisible internal injuries.
What Freya did with that invisible knife, in all seriousness, was put Larkin on the shelf for a few weeks. It handed people who are going to be facing Larkin an easier opponent. Freya played a mind game. It's not, haha, invisible knife. She took her out with the invisible knife. It's not that. Freya knows how much that invisible knife meant to Larkin. That's why she used it in the fashion that she did. She did not. She knew she beat.
Yeah,
she
you're
beat
right
Larkin,
about that.
She beat Larkin in the head last week. She beat Larkin in her mind last week.
She did.
That's. With everything else that lovely Miss Larkin has going on, it's tough for me to think that in a week's time she's gonna bounce back to normal like nothing happened.
Do you think that Freya will make an appearance in this match leading up to the pay-per-view?
I think that's straight up inside Freya's MO right now. Absolutely, especially if she makes short work of Rachel Leigh, she's gonna be feeling high as a hog, right?
Possibly on commentary. Who knows?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, that would be a great spot for her, actually. No, I'm going Angelica Risk and Maddie the American Baddie. I'm going Angelica Risk and Maddie the American Baddie. And you chose Sophia and Larkin, right?
Yeah.
I got another prediction.
Bring it.
Two, actually. Excuse me. What do we think the contest between Jack Vaughn and Donovan Cecil looks like?
Hopscotch.
And what is the stipulation of the Star Rider Super Z match? That's actually less for us and more for the... I would like your opinion on it, but that's less for us and more for the chat. Want to hear the chat. What do you guys think the Donovan Cecil Jack Vaughn challenges, and what do you guys think the stipulation between Star Rider and Super Z are? Do you have any thoughts, Brian Hines?
Let's wait until after the break.
Okay. Yeah. No, actually, that's a good call. That's good formatting.
That'll give them time to think for a little bit and get back to us, and that'll give us time to hear these words from our sponsors.
All right. Don't touch that dial, guys. Final segment up next on the OVW Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back.
Hey, guys. Amazing Maria here, and
Maximo Suave.
two of the OVW podcast most favorite supporters, and we just wanted to wish you guys, happy 100th episode. We are incredibly sorry that we could not be there. As you can tell, we're in my office. We are stuck at work. I'm going to be here.
It's not a ring.
It is not a ring. I'm going to be here all freaking night tonight. This jabron has to go wrestle on a show. So we wish we could be there with you guys. But you know what? Here's to another 100.
I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude. Without you, there is no OVW. Without your passion, your energy, your unwavering support, there is no us. There's no talent, no production. Without you, there's no OVW. Thank you for being the driving force behind everything we do. The unsung heroes of our saga. So from the bottom of our hearts, thank you, OVW fans. We can't do it without you.
This week, hopefully we'll have this all straightened out.
Fan Zone. Whoa.
Get your tickets.
Dream a reality and attend the world-famous Harvard of Pro Wrestling. The OVW Academy with Al Snow. The birthplace of legends, including Batista, John Cena, Randy Orton, The Miz, and many more. Will you be the next name added to that impressive list? Visit OVWacademy.com and apply now.
I'm Nick, and I'm in the OVW Fan Zone.
Yeah.
Fan Zone Live, where fans talk back. This is your segment, chat. Get in the comment section here, get in the chat, leave all of your questions, comments, concerns, complaints, requests, anything wrestling, recipes, anything wrestling or OVW related, and we will get to it. Also looking forward to hearing what the chat has to think about the challenge between Donovan Cecil and what they think the challenge between Donovan Cecil and Jack Vaughn,
Yes,
and what they
correct.
think the stipulation between Star Rider and Super Z will be.
Well, we got a lot to go through here, but if you you want to get your question, comment, concern, complaint, whatever in, now's the time. But we're going to start going through some of these earlier in the night. Wrestling's biggest fan,
WBF.
He says, I can tell. Talking about the shirt, actually, your Total Nonstop Action shirt.
Yeah.
He says, I can tell it's from someone who's used to signing. Like an intermediate to advanced development, but it appeared, so someone who's probably older by this point. Someone also said that you should take a good close picture of it and Google search the image, as it can pull up who the signature might be as well.
That's a good point. Thank you, by the way. I appreciate that.
I think those were both wrestling's biggest fan, but I missed the Google one.
My old phone used to do
I believe that was
on
Junk Punch Hero.
Oh, you might be right about
What
that.
up, Junk Punch?
My old phone used to do that Google
Yep,
search
there it
image
is.
thing automatically, but now I have a stupid iPhone.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Piece of
Cosmic
crap.
Joe Chronicles. He asked, who do we think the next releases from WWE should be? We don't really follow that closely. If you have a suggestion, I'd love to hear it. But I thought, is there anybody we've known to be released from these companies lately who you think might end up, even for just one night, showing up at OVW?
So we talked about this earlier, and I saw on Bully Ray's podcast, he and Mark Henry were talking about how they would love for R-Truth to show up in like AEW or someplace, but still be under the impression that he's in the WWE, and that would just be comedy gold. And I mean, imagine if we saw him at OVW in the middle of that Rush Division scramble, and he just kind of like enters, and he's like, he still thinks he's at WWE, and is just there for a minute, just kind of like looking around, trying to figure out where like the catering is, and I think that would be hilarious. But as far as who I think the next ones are going to be, I'm still in shock about the last one.
Yeah, I mean, in the wider world of TKO and UFC and WWE, WWE has always done such a great job of not always. They have made a ton of inroads into taking care of their legends and taking care of people on contract, and even letting contracts just expire instead of getting fired, day of, even though they have 3 years left on their contract or whatever. They've done a great job with that. But if you're looking at UFC specifically and how they treat their older competitors and their legends, quote unquote, they don't. They act like they're invisible. They act like they don't exist. I would be really, really worried, and am really, really worried, especially with the release of someone like R-Truth that has WWF lifer written all over him. And yes, I know that he wrestled forever before that. I know he's in TNA. Ron Killings is a great, great wrestler. While we're talking about the future for R-Truth, would love one more TNA run as Ron Killings, not as R-Truth, but that's neither here nor there. R-Truth had WWE lifer written all over him, and then just got told one day he doesn't have a job anymore. And that is out of the UFC playbook more than anything. That's a UFC playbook thing. That's a TKO thing. That's not a WWE thing. And stuff like this is going to continue to happen.
Junk Punch agrees. He says 2 losses in UFC and you are done.
Yep. No, there are people that built that company. There are people that company would not exist if they didn't put their bodies and their lives and their livelihood and their futures on the line and their future health on the line. And they act like these people don't exist. These people are relegated to doing podcasts. These people are relegated to like hosting travel shows when they should be taken care of by the biggest and most popular sports company in the entire world. They're acted like they act like these people don't even exist. And I would hate for WWE to get to be that way, because wrestling is built on nostalgia, it's built on familiarity, it's built on return, and I hope sincerely that is one thing that WWE does not adopt from the UFC. But whenever you've got someone like R-Truth getting let go, anything can happen.
I'll take KFC over UFC any day, folks.
I mean,
I'm with you, Brian.
It's not even fun anymore. UFC's not even fun anymore.
So on the holiday front, Victor reminds us that it's also Hug Your Cat Day.
Yes, it is. That is correct.
Well, I guess I will be celebrating that in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's a Furby out there who is...
Forby, please.
Forby.
Oh, yeah, Furby's something different.
Yeah.
Forby out there who's going to get a hug.
I spent 3 out of the 4 last weekends in Ohio, so I got to spend a lot of time with Lady Chonkington.
I was going to say, they have like a title. I was going to say,
also,
they get a peerage.
Also, chat, who has the worst name for their cat? My cat, who's literally just the number 4 and the letter B, or Brian Hines with Lady Chonkington that's actually pretty cute? Let us know in the chat.
All right, we will catch
It's
up
short.
on that.
Who knew that there would be a cat showdown, a cat name showdown at
It's
the end of this show?
It's short for 4 bracelets, but
I'm going to cut in right here. I got a friend who wins. His cat's name is Beef Stroganoff.
his cat's name is what?
That was my nickname in college, but only when I was working at the club.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I can't even find the tracks. Let's see. Victor commented that Shane Mercer should go to Japan.
He's got Japan written all over him. I think he's in GCW right now.
Mm-hmm. That was also brought up in the chat.
I think that depending on how things shake out for a Shane Mercer in his life, GCW might be the extent of it. I'll leave that to Google for you guys to explain.
Okay, let's move along. Junk Punch Hero comments, and you guys can.
Is it Junk Punch or Drunk Punch?
It's Junk Punch. He comments that Dustin Jackson looks like someone who doesn't tip. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know, man. He's a good-looking cat. I think that he probably has no. Oh, you mean like at a restaurant?
Yeah.
I bet he does. We sat down with him. He's a very, very, very nice, intelligent, gracious person.
That was a great interview.
About a year ago. Go look that up. It's worth your time.
No, I think what you might be confusing his what you might be seeing with Dustin Jackson and thinking that he might not tip is just how gosh darn good looking he is. And pretty people are very intimidating, and most of them are jerks. Not the case with Dustin Jackson. I think he tips.
Brandon Amott, who is the guy behind convention pre-sales, by the way.
Oh,
hello.
Thanks for joining us, brother.
He says Larkin is stabbing Sophia.
I think that as this thing continues to grow, that is on the table. But anything, as we've said 1,000 times, anything is on the table with Larkin.
Yeah, the only thing you know is that you don't know.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to take a guess. Tsali, Tsali, says...
Or it might just be... the T might be silent.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. But anyway, Obsidian Angel terrifies them. Where did he come from? What powers does he hold? So...
Giving titles away.
Yeah.
I don't know where he comes from.
Yeah.
I don't know where you come from. Where did he go? Where did he come from, Obsidian Angel?
Yeah. Star Rider picked up Obsidian Angel somewhere. Made very quick work out of Super Z. Obsidian Angel did. It was a good addition to Star Rider's Doom Syndicate to bring Obsidian Angel on.
Yes.
As far as where's he come from, all of that stuff, I don't know.
Maybe
I don't know.
A one ad in the back of Soldier of Fortune magazine.
Well, one can assume that he's from Parts Unknown, much like Star Rider himself. So maybe they went to the same Parts Unknown high school. Someday we got to go to Parts Unknown.
What is the mascot? The question mark?
Yes, absolutely, just a big question mark.
The Parts Unknown High School question mark.
Nothing makes Tiny Brian laugh quite like Brian Hines making a punctuation joke.
Yeah.
That does seem to be my thing these days. Victor had a couple other quick things. He says he wants Star Rider and Super Z to have a no-holds-barred match.
It's got to be something big and violent like that, 100%.
I would love it if it was a scaffold match, but I'm sure we're not going to be that lucky. We have a juggalo.
Whoop whoop!
Wow.
Hey, look
Break
at
out the Fago.
Break out the Fago. We got some in the other room. Some Juggalo juice.
What's
if you
your
want to know
favorite?
what's going on OVW Juggalo, we're about to have a podcast come out on our YouTube page, which is at OVW Podcast. Tell you everything that just happened in OVW.
It'll catch
last
you up
week.
on last week. We've got 100 other episodes out there as well, so you can catch up as far back as you want to on Ohio Valley Wrestling through our analysis and viewpoints.
Victor also suggests that Vaughn and Cecil will take part in a good old-fashioned game of Mercy.
It might start with that, but what do we think is going to go down with Donovan Cecil and the
I'm
veteran
sorry.
Jack Vaughn?
I haven't thought about an old-fashioned game of Mercy in a long time. I think I know a producer over there who might be playing a game of Mercy with me some point in the near future. His name is Malachi.
It's certainly not me.
Nah, I saw the way you kick. We ain't playing Mercy.
So, is it an event? It's not a wrestling match. It's
Well,
like
they keep talking about it can be any sort of competition.
any sort of competition. Quilting bee?
I'd love to see that.
Why not?
Tasali came back with one more comment, and we'll close on this one. I want to complain that there's not 17 shows a week, and they're not touring outside of Kentucky, save for a few Indiana shows. Indiana is full of Hoosiers, and they're terrible people because I'm one of them, unquote.
Well, first off, positive self-talk. It goes a long way. And next week, T, I want to see you with some positive self-talk in the chat. I am sorry that you are a Hoosier. That is very unfortunate. That doesn't mean that you have to be like the rest of them. Now's the time to start the journey of, becoming a Buckeye or someone from the Bluegrass State. You can be anything you want. You don't have to be tied down to your Hoosier roots, okay? That's first things first. Second thing.
That's the Hoosier illusion, by the way.
Second thing. What was their actual comment about?
They just want more OVW. 17
Don't we
shows
all?
a week.
Don't we
outside
all?
of Kentucky.
Well, listen. That would be great if there was someone else to host a podcast about it, because we don't have time.
We don't have 16 more
shows.
hours to do this.
No.
Let's get into the calendar real quick. Tomorrow, 6:15, OVW TV, OVW Rise, OVW Overdrive. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m., you can see OVW
Jinkies.
Overdrive with our congratulations to the new hosts of Overdrive, one Miss lovely Linda Kay, and Jessica, I have forgotten her last name. McKinney, thank you. She is,
That's a deduction.
You may have seen Jessica running the Timekeeper station by the ring.
That is
and
correct.
she is now jumping in front of the camera to host Overdrive with Linda. Congratulations to them.
I think that is really, really cool. Congratulations to them. And
Fantastic.
This is just yet another kind of innovation from Ohio Valley Wrestling. This is a wrestling show hosted by two women.
You gotta love it.
It ain't happening anywhere else. Okay.
6 days.
Even the one where they only women wrestle, dudes host it. So okay.
6 days, 23 hours from now, we'll be right back here for OVW Fan Zone Live.